this got started because Stanley Kramer was not known for comedies. If you know his work, he was a very serious filmmaker. Judgment at Nuremberg, Inherit the Wind, High Noon. I mean, those kinds of social issue movies. This is a social issue movie. It's about greed. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that right now. So, Stanley had a real fan in a top critic of the New York Times. His name was Bosley Crowther. He gave Stanley some of the best reviews of his whole career. So when we go to New York on business, we would often have lunch with Bosley. And on this one particular occasion, he said, you know, Stanley, we critics, we like to get together. And we like to talk about you guys, you know? And he said, you want to hear what we think about you? Okay, he said, back. And he said, well, we think you're the most influential filmmaker of the 20th century. However, there is one thing we all agree on. You could never, ever make a comedy. There was a staring contest between Mr. Crowther and Stanley Kramer. It took Stanley so aback. So he looked him in the eye and he said, oh yeah? Well, that just started it. That was it. You had to tell Stanley you couldn't do something and he was going to prove you wrong. So he set out to make this extravaganza movie. Now, when it was finally finished, it ran 5 hours originally. So Stanley was also an editor, so he edited it down to a little under 4 hours with intermission. And he had the Hollywood Cinerama Dome built just to open this movie. And the interesting thing about that, thank you, was the fact that he invited President and Mrs. Kennedy. And they said yes. And they brought Adeline Stevenson with him and Teddy Kennedy. Now, that was the invitation list. And every star in Hollywood showed up. 2 days before the opening, Stanley had a call from the White House. And they said, well, we have to regret President Kennedy and Mrs. Kennedy cannot attend because they have to go to Dallas. And they have to get ready for that trip. So it was a disappointment, of course. However, then the assassination happened, and this film played for 2 years at the Cinerama Dome because I think it helped heal the nation. And if we ever needed to laugh, look at our mad, 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 mad world now. I think we need to laugh a lot. So I hope you enjoy this film. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'm going to turn it over to Kat Kramer. Oh, one more thing before I get started. Just one more thing. I have another daughter. Stanley, I have another daughter. Of course, I was going to announce it. Her name is Jennifer Kramer. She's not on stage with us. She is a filmmaker. She's an auteur. She not only writes it, produces it, directs it, and plays the piano in it. That's all the musicians work. So we're going to be hearing a lot about her. I had to get that in. Jennifer Kramer, just for a second, just stand up.
Jennifer Kramer, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for coming. Give yourselves a round of applause. And I'm wearing gold because this film is the gold standard. Wouldn't you agree? You probably all wonder what this is, the Mad World Purse. You'll find out afterwards. There's going to be special surprises in the Q&A. And I'm going to be doing a trivia contest for a giveaway prize. But before that, I just want to announce that we have some special guests in the audience that are going to be, one of them is going to be on stage with us afterwards. That's Sandy Hackett, Buddy Hackett's son. And his whole family is here tonight. And it's their first time seeing Mad World or Buddy Hackett on the big screen. So let's give that a round of applause. There's some other special people here tonight whose relatives worked on the film, and I'm going to announce them during the Q&A. So we better get started because it's a long version of the film, and I know you all want to stay around for the special surprise.
Oh yeah, please do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a great time.